Okay, just doing a little quick vlog here for bedtime. Just trying to kind of get this out of my system. I just watched a really great movie that I'd never seen before in my life. And this is not going to be a review. I'm going to review it sometime soon to be sure. I like movies that are taken from true events. Not necessarily horror movies. I like horror movies that are derived from true events, but I like a crime drama or something like Goodfellas or like the one I watched, something that's based on true source material. I watched for the first time tonight Prince of the City with Treat Williams in the lead role. It's based on a true life story of this other guy, and it's got a featurette with it that fills in the background where the guy came from and everything. Not going into any great detail, but just using that as kind of like an intro to this vlog. I just really like to sit down and watch those type of things because it teaches you. I mean, it's a little bit of dramatization that's thrown in there to kind of spice it up for Hollywood to try and sell the movie and all that. But it's always really good to me to watch those type of things, especially if they're done well. This one was directed by Sidney Lumet, who you know from doing other films like Serpico comes to mind, and Dog Day Afternoon, some Al Pacino films, things like that. But he usually keeps his camera angles really simple. It's got a real kind of, not a real hard edge, but a real realistic style to it. So if the story's told right, I really think that a lot of folks can learn from these type of movies. They can learn the seedy, bad parts of life. They can learn the value of good things in life. Um, I take them as sort of like a documentary type style movie, meaning that you can take a lot of life lessons from them. Not only that, you can read poetry. I mean, you can read poetry. You can read your favorite book. You can listen to your favorite music and draw life lessons from it. It just depends on you and what really speaks to you. Basically, is the way I look at it. What opens up your mind? What unlocks your brain and lets these things come in? It's like a certain type of key has to be turned for each of these things to kick on in our own minds to accept these things and learn from them. Otherwise, we just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So getting back more to the point, watching movies like that have really kind of, not that I take everything in the movies to be golden truth. I think just a lot of times, if you really sit down and watch a movie that's steeped in realism and that is based on or pretty much holding to true events, especially if it's based on an autobiography or something like that, where it's really done well and it's not very dramatic ridden, and it's done with some respect. You can really learn a lot of life lessons without having to actually go and experience a whole lot of these bad things in life, and it kind of opens me up for another topic in this rambling blog I'm doing right now. I'm not very good at blogger, folks. I'm just kind of saying what comes to mind here. Why do we make mistakes? It's so we know how to deal with them later in life. I mean, so sometimes you have to make mistakes in order to be able to deal with things. That's why I've tried to, if anybody ever asks me, why do I keep making these mistakes? How can I keep from doing this same mistake over and over again? Well, sometimes it just depends on the person. Some people are more stubborn than others, and some, are less stubborn and very skittish about getting in trouble. Some never learn from their mistakes because they don't ever take a chance. Some take too many chances and then have to learn the hard way. Um, I don't know. Just watching that movie just kind of opened my mind up to it because it was about police corruption and things like that, and it just really made me thankful for where I am right now in my life, and it just helped me to to slow down and really get the message behind the story about how you reap what you sow, and I think that's a very important lesson for everybody to adhere to. So if you sow a good seed, you'll reap the good harvest. If you don't sow a good seed, you'll have a bad harvest. That's correct.